Hey guys, for today's 3 cards, 1 stamp set, we're going to be using the Tea Together stamp set. It is in the Occasions catalog. So on page 49 of your current Occasions catalog. And it's a really pretty stamp set. You get 4 sentiments. Here it is. 4 sentiments. It is a cling stamp set. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. And then you get these really pretty, you get a teapot, a teacup, and then some floral images that are just, I just think it's so classy. Typically, this is not really my style, but there was something about it that I was drawn to, and the sample projects probably didn't help. So they have some gorgeous, they did some stamping on the teapot. You could do paper piecing where you just stamp the image on a piece of DSP, cut it out, and there's your teapot. And then they did over here this tea, I just totally lost my words. The mug, that's not what you call it. But they did flowers coming out of it with some embossing. I mean, just really elaborate cards. So that's what we're going to use today. We're also going to use the Framelits. Now, the Framelits are from the Sale-A-Bration catalog. So if you're not familiar, the Sale-A-Bration catalog has level 1, level 2. Level 1 are the items you could earn for every $50 purchase. Level 2 are the items you earn through a $100 purchase. So most of these in the Sale-A-Bration catalog are level 1. Most of them, for every $50, you can earn one of these products. However, the dies are level 2, as well as this stamp set. Those may be the only things that are level 2. So these dies you can only earn if you spend at least $100. So I've made several orders and I did qualify for the dies which I chose. So we'll be using those. And again, they have more inspiration samples that I really love. I love this. They did some, it looks like watercoloring, just so pretty. Really pretty. So for the 3 cards, we're going to do a beginner, a medium, and a more advanced. At least that's my goal since I started this series, is to do that. I'm still kind of working on what would be considered beginning, what's considered medium, what's considered advanced, because I'm so stuck in my ways that I have to kind of be careful with what I do. So another item we're going to use is from the annual catalog, and it is a part of the Share What You Love suite, and it is the DSP right here. Let me make sure you can see that. I'm in frame. I'm going to show you the actual full sheets. I've had this paper shortly after this annual catalog came out last year, have yet to use it, and it is the prettiest paper out there. So let's go through. I guess I shouldn't have closed that. You get 24 sheets, 12 by 12, and I believe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, you get 3 of each design, or 4. You get 4 of each design, and they're double-sided. So let's go through real quick. These are 12 by 12. I'm going to cut one set down to 6 by 6, just because it's easier for me to use and grab from. But look at this. Look at this paper. This paper is a little bit more pricier than the other DSP in the catalog, but you get this beautiful finish. So you get this, and on the other side it's just a generic, which is a nice option. Then this one, look how pretty that is. Oh, I just love it. And then again, a generic, but a nice leaf pattern. Then you get this one, it's really pretty. Whoop. Right side up, just gorgeous flowers. Here's just some writing. And then you get this. And on the back, this one. And you get some stripes. And then really soft colors. I like this. And I just thought this paper would go good with the tea set. So not sure how I'm going to use it. I'm actually just filming this intro, and then tomorrow I'll come to it and and put the cards together. But this is the supplies we're going to use. All supplies will be linked below if you're interested. And of course, definitely take advantage of Sale-A-Bration. It goes until the end of March. You get an opportunity to earn free product. So let me know if you have any questions about that. Also, it's a great time to join Stampin' Up! Because you can get, for the same price, you get a lot more products. So for $99, you can choose $175 worth of product. And I always say, if you're going to place a big order, you might as well join. Because then all your future orders, you'll get a 20% discount, which is really nice. And then when you hit certain levels of advancement, your discount can grow. So let me know if you have any questions about that. I always like to mention it, but I don't like to spend too much time because I feel like I tend to yap in the beginning too long. So we'll go ahead and get started, but please let me know if you have questions about joining or any of the products I used, and I'll get back with you. Okay, before we get started, I wanted to talk about the cling stamps real quick. I almost forgot. The cling stamps are new, and I do think Stampin' Up! Is on the right track with these cling stamps. However, I personally am finding them way too sticky. And Stampin' Up! Does say, yes, they are very sticky and give tips on, don't leave it on your acrylic block overnight. But where I'm finding the issue is I keep my stamps on the casing of the case. And what I've run into is that I've had a hard time with some of them getting them off the case. My hummingbird stamp set, I have ripped a little trying to get it off the case. Now, if you have a pick your tool, if you have some sort of flat tool you could pry under there, that would work. However, I don't feel like you should have to buy something or use something to get a stamp up. So I do believe, in my own opinion, that Stampin' Up! Does have to kind of work this out. I know Stampin' Up! Demonstrators will rave about the cling stamps, and absolutely it is exciting, but I'm always going to be honest with you and give you my opinion. Whether I'm selling Stampin' Up! Or not, I'm giving you my opinion. So there are a few things you can do to deal with the cling stamps. You can use the stickers as they're intended. Here is my hummingbird set. I have used the stickers. They stick very well to my case. They're not going anywhere. And this comes up perfectly. On this end, this is typically where I grab my hummingbird stamp. And it came up fine. As you can see, the sticker has ripped off, so I'm able to grab the corner, or it's actually folded under. But I'm able to grab the corner to get the stamp. So that's another option. You can, and look at this part where I've tried to grab the stamp. You can cut the sticker in a way if you can get it up and just create that little leverage. But like the rest of these, let me see if I can get this in frame and show you. So what they suggest is you really grab it from the bottom. But look what's happening. I cannot leverage, me personally, and get the sticker easily. I really actually have a little bit of a nail that I was able to dig under there and grab it. And that works just fine. Same thing, but personally, my own opinion on this is I just want to grab the stamp and go. I don't want to sit here and go, okay, be careful. There we go. And I grab it. So you know how you are. And these are just suggestions. Don't come at me if you are a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you love the cling stamps. Like I said, I think they're on the right direction. For me, my opinion, they're too sticky for me. I don't want to fight with the stamp to get it off. Here's another option if you want to use the stickers. Keep the sheet they come in, okay? So like this. They came with this sheet. Here are your stickers, and I just kept the sheet. And there is no problem getting them off the sheet at all. Just when you stick them on your Stampin' block, you're typically not going to use a stamp. A stamp is not going to be on a stamping block for that long. If you're doing a class or whatever, maybe. But it's okay. If you really hate the cling stamps because you couldn't use the sticker, and you definitely want to use the sticker now, which it looks a lot better, this is not bad. It's not as bad as for me trying to get it off the sticky sheet. So these peel off just fine, but I'm not leaving them on that long. I also don't press them down. So that is another option. You can keep them on the sticker sheet. What I've done here is I didn't even use my stickers. I just treated them like the old-fashioned cling mount stamps, and they work just fine on a stamping block. You do not have to use the stickers. I haven't used the stickers with Stampin' Up! For a couple years, so this is no different. So it's totally whatever works best for you. I wanted to make sure to mention that, and sorry I'm kind of rambling about it. I will include a timestamp for the card making, but I just wanted to mention it now that I've kind of played around with the stamps and the cling stamps. For me, they're too sticky from the block, from my case, I mean. So I'm choosing not to use the stickers or using the sheet the stickers come on. So there are a few options. Okay, enough about that. Here are the coordinating colors that I'm bringing in for the 3 cards. I don't know which one I'm going to use, or what I'm going to use for everything, but I just wanted to show the coordinating colors. And what I'm doing is I'm coordinating the colors according to the DSP, which I have cut down to 6x6. So we have Grapefruit Grove, Rich Raspberry, Mint Macaron, Old Olive, Whisper White. These, I keep my paper in ticket holders. I'll have them linked below if you're interested. They're great. My paper sticks up in a magazine file, and it has worked out really well. So these are the colors I will be using, possibly. We're going to make 3 cards today. So here are my card bases: Rich Raspberry, Old Olive, Mint Macaron, and the ink. I went ahead and pulled all the coordinating ink. Old Olive, Mint Macaron, Rich Raspberry, and Grapefruit Grove. Okay, let's get started. All right, going into card 1, I'm going to use Old Olive ink and stamp out this rose stamp all over this Whisper White panel. I love this stamp. I didn't really think, it was pretty, but once I stamped it out, I'm like, oh my gosh, this would be so pretty to watercolor. I'm taking Rich Raspberry and stamping out the smaller flower. This is supposed to be my beginner card. And by beginner, I mean someone that maybe is just getting into card making and doesn't have a lot of supplies. Did I accomplish that? I don't know. It's really hard for me to do beginner type cards, especially when I have the dies and the paper and everything. So I do have the dies, but here I am fussy cutting it out. Because as a beginner crafter, you may not have a big shot, so you wouldn't have a need for the die, but I wanted to show you how you could still use the image and cut it out. You can cut it to the line, or you can leave a little border. I always think it looks really nice leaving a little border, so that is what I'm doing. And then I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals just to pop this up on my panel that I've attached to my card base. All of it is Old Olive. I do bring in Grapefruit Grove cardstock and stamped out some of these flowers. Now I did cheat and I used the die for those, but again, you could fussy cut those out. I stamped my image and just trimming it up. Again, you don't need a punch or a die to trim it up and add that fishtail banner. And you don't need to use the fishtail banner if that's too advanced. Just totally whatever you prefer. But basically, these are just images and a sentiment stamped, cut, and then adhered, keeping it fairly easy. It's about as easy as I can get. So there is your beginner type card. For my medium card, where a person may be not advanced, but well versed in crafting, just maybe not craft a lot, maybe just do it for certain occasions. This is what I came up with. So I have stamped the teacup onto this pattern paper, and I'm cutting out the portion of the teacup that I want to have the pattern. I take some So Saffron paper, cardstock, stamp out my teacup, and then that is where I'm going to place that piece of pattern paper. I'm taking a black marker and darkening up the edges to give it a finished look. The inside, the core of the paper is white, and I don't want any of that white showing. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this piece of paper to the teacup. I do cheat and use the die. Now, as a crafter that maybe crafts occasionally, they may not have a big shot. So, You could fussy cut this out, but for this video's sake, I did use the die. Go ahead and attach that piece of pattern paper. Really quick and easy way to get a pattern on your cup without having to color or anything. So I did add this. This is an embossing folder I'll have linked below, that if one does have a big shot, they can use an embossing folder to add a look to their card. This leaf pattern embossing folder is really pretty. It has different dimension. I think it's dynamic embossing folder, so you get different dimensions with different areas of the embossing folder. I'm taking this white doily and adding, it's pearlized doily, I believe, adding that, and then going to pop the teacup up to the top. I do stamp out the sentiment on the So Saffron ink, So Saffron paper cardstock with Rich Raspberry. That is the, oh gosh, it left me, what is it called? The chamois. And it's really thick. I just bought it. I have a couple from competitors, but I just bought the Stampin' Up! One, and I'm really enjoying using that. It is really thick compared to the other ones that I have. So here I'm trimming up my sentiment, and I'm trimming it in a way where I'm trying to make it look like a tea bag. I thought that was cute. And so I go ahead and take some twine that I have, and I love this twine so much. It comes in a pack of 4. It's amazing. I love it, and I love all the colors, the 4 colors that come with it. Then I'm going to go ahead and tie a little bow and then attach that to my little tea bag sentiment type of deal. Looks like a tag, but I was going for a tea bag type of look. And then this is what I would consider a medium level card. I don't know. Like I said, guys, I'm still working on it. I don't know. I'm trying. And so here's my more advanced card. We're going to stamp this image out on some shimmer white cardstock. This cardstock is so pretty. I just actually bought some. My first time looking at it in person and using it. And you can't really see the shimmer there. I'm trying to show you, but it's not showing up at all. At the top of the screen, you can kind of see the shimmer a little bit on the cardstock, but really pretty cardstock. And what I'm doing is I'm taking this blender pen with some Grapefruit Grove ink, and I'm just going to do a little bit of ink blending or watercoloring. This paper you can watercolor on, so I thought I'd try it out. I do eventually bring in an aqua painter because I was not liking the results I was getting with the blender pen. The blender pen I would highly suggest for smaller images. Like the top of my teapot looks totally fine. It's when I got to the center that I did not like it because you could see the lines, the pen lines. And I didn't like that look. So everything looks fine up until here. And I didn't want to work the paper too much because this blender pen, as Stampin' Up! Does sell blender pens, but this one is not a Stampin' Up! One. And I wasn't too crazy with its performance. If you follow my other channel, which will be linked below, there are some videos where I use this and I always say it's a love-hate relationship with that particular pen. So here I've brought in the aqua painter and I'm smoothing out the line marks, for lack of a better term. My paper is pilling a little bit, but I just scoop those little pieces up and it's totally fine. It comes out totally fine. And here I'm going to go ahead and cut it. As an advanced crafter, you will have a big shot and you probably will get the dies. So here I'm using them without feeling guilty. Go ahead and die cut out that tea kettle. And just fix some areas with my water brush. Lots of pilling going on there. And here I'm just scooping it up with the brush. Here here's the 4-pack. Oh, I just love them so much. Here are all my pieces I'm going to put together. I do have another doily pack, the Grapefruit Grove color you see to the left, the top. And I'll have that linked below as well. And I've already stamped my sentiment and used my circle stitch die to cut that out. And here I'm just taking these pattern papers and putting them together. This obviously is my favorite card. This is more my style of card. I just I just think it's so pretty. It's hard, really hard for me to make a simple looking card. And when I do make a simple looking card, it's not necessarily a card I like as much as I do with these cards where I kind of go all out. So go ahead and wrap some of that twine around there. I do add some foam dots. They're not Stampin' Up, but I'm using them up, trying to use them up. And go ahead and adhere that. Here are the colored doilies that I'll have linked below, and the Grapefruit Grove obviously went perfect. Just adding that behind it. Granted, the tea kettle, it hides a lot of it, but it just adds a little bit of interest peeking out from behind it. Add some Stampin' Dimensionals to the sentiment and the tea kettle. Adhere that down, and then I'll go ahead and adhere my little, oh, I tie a bow with the same twine. And then add, remove the backing sheet, obviously. I do go back off camera and cut little slits into my Stampin' Dimensionals to allow room for the twine, because obviously if I adhere it down like that, there'll be a little bit of bulging where the twine is. But I do fix that off camera and go ahead and attach it, and then I attach my bow. And then once I attach my bow, I do bring in sequins from the Butterfly Gala suite. I'll have the specific name linked below. All supplies will be listed below as always, and I will add sequins to this card to complete my more advanced type card, which is my favorite. So if you have any questions about any of the supplies I used, definitely let me know. All supplies will be linked below, and as always, I greatly appreciate your business. Remember, those dies are free with a $100 purchase. I cannot link the dies, but I will list them below with the item number. And there are the 3 cards from beginning to more advanced. I don't know. Like I said, still working on that. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorite card was. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.